What can you say about the club, Ken?
I thought it was, I think we've been knocked around a bit since the showdown. I don't think anyone's probably gave us too much in regards to after that really poor performance, which we owned. But we'd have put together a pretty solid season, I thought. And, we've won games in Shanghai and Ballarat. We've won games in Brisbane. We've won games in Melbourne. We've actually got good sides, do you? Win games away from your home ground. And now, for us, we haven't always got it right. But I still think 21 games gives you a sample size that suggests we're pretty reliable more often than not.
And it was pressure footy out there, wasn't it? A contested ball.
Yeah, it was hot footy, wasn't it? Hot footy today. They were playing for the season, and we had lots to play for too. And I certainly made our boys aware of the emotional stuff that perhaps they would be talking and thinking about. And we had as much to play for as them, but it was really strong. It was a hunt, outnumber. Turnover style game of football that I was really pleased with the boys.
Was that Charlie's best game for the club?
No, he's played some great games for this footy club. It was a big game in a big day, in a big moment, but Charlie's been amazing for us. Not just today, he's been really good all year.
His work rate?
Yeah, well, that's what he does. We sometimes miss some of his effort. It's not all about goals, which he never has been.
Yep.
And I think he's kicked over 40 odd now for the year, but what he creates and sets up for others is really important.
Do you feel like you just had Paddy and him an aerial dominance that you could potentially take advantage of?
Well, certainly the way they played, it gave us an opportunity to catch the ball on them a couple of times, and but that goes in hand with the way I thought we moved the ball. We've worked really hard this year on our system style of play, and it came off pretty well. And the scores were 78 all today. I thought, even kick up the middle and a bit of courage to take the game on and end up in a goal. I think to Wingard in the goal square. So credit to the boys.
Who do you think stood up in those last 10 or 15 minutes?
Sorry?
Who do you think stood up in the last 10 or 15 minutes?
Oh, you don't win those games unless the whole team does.
Yeah.
And that's what has to happen. If you're going to play that, hot footy that we talk about and finals footy, everyone has to, because you can't win without 22. Simple as that. And, that side's won the flag last year. That side was playing for their life today. That side had their great captain, announcing his retirement this week. It was going to be a tough game.
Is that the game that seals the All-Australian for Paddy?
Yeah, well, I don't know. Look, I'll pump him up. That's my job. I love the way he plays. I love the way the team plays. And Paddy's one part of the team. And, he'll get recognised if he deserves it. That's as simple as that, I reckon.
You're walking the finals booth now. What does it mean to you, given the start of the year, a lot of pressure going in?
Yeah, I'm just proud for the boys because, we've worked damn hard. We haven't been lacking in courage. We played, 6 blokes out there today with less than 20 games maybe, I reckon. First gamers, second gamers. We were prepared to keep putting them out there, and they haven't let us down.
Was it a brave decision to play Todd Marshall, and he played well?
It's actually a simple decision, I've got to say, and that's been a bit, I'm not just disrespecting the question in any way, but it's because he's such a talented player. He'll have quiet days in his journey now, there's no doubt about that. He's got AFL brains, he's got AFL speed, he makes good decisions, and he's got a really, really bright future. And Jeff Parker and Jason Cripps, Sam Powell-Pepper, Todd Marshall, makes the coach happy, I've got to say.
Did you see the Tom Jonas and Luke Dalhouse incident?
No, I didn't. I've seen him on the ground. No, seriously, I didn't. I'm happy to take your feedback, but I actually haven't seen it because, unfortunately, the vision wasn't super down the ground for us. So, knowing Tommy and knowing Tommy's history, it would have been, I would have thought, in play, fair enough type of play, knowing Tommy blocking. As a defender, you do body check your players all the time. That's what you're supposed to do. I think Luke got up and played on, was okay. So, without seeing it, I suggest he'd be okay.
But Wingard, was he okay?
Yeah, he is. He's actually a bit tight in the calf.
Oh,
he went through the game. He got to the game okay. His ankle's been recovered really well, but his calf was a bit sore. That's why we were a bit gentle on him in the second half. So we understand the B that he brings to the team.
Is that Houston, the shoulder injury?
Yeah, he's fine. He come back on. It was a big hit, and he looked in some trouble, I've got to say. I think the initial call-up line was Dan might be in some trouble, but another one of those young boys that have come in and just stepped up for us. So I'm pleased for him.
Ballarat is an AFL venue. How do you go? First go.
Oh, it's fantastic. I mean, because I win, it feels great, doesn't it? I love Ballarat. I said I love Shanghai. I want to make Ballarat our second home ground if we could. But Shanghai is our first of our second home grounds, and Ballarat can be our second one. I don't know. But the great courage of the Bulldogs and their club, as we've done, taking a game to a different spot. takes a bit of courage. You know, I think it's great for the game that we take it to the regional centres when we can, and if we can, like we did, take it overseas. It can only be a positive for the game.
It seemed it had the feel of an AFL venue. Did you agree with that? Like, it sounded like it, looked like it.
Yeah, it was on. You could tell you had an AFL game of football, couldn't you? I think because I remember this ground from my time, some time back, and the stands here are great. I think the city of Ballarat should take great credit. If they put one on the other side of the ground, it'd be a nice look, wouldn't it? A great little boutique stadium for AFL football for the future.
How do you think Kevin Smoke's role was today?
Yeah, he was really good, captain. I was a bit grumpy with him early in the game, I've got to say, and I told him that after the game, but and all the coaches upstairs, they really stuck up for him big time, and he repaid them and us. He's copped plenty this year. I reckon he's deserved a pat on the back today, so well done, Skipper.
What are you grumpy about, Ken?
I don't know, I just get like that some days.
Are you prepared?
They could kick goals and I'd still get grumpy sometimes.
Sorry, are you prepared to play all these kids in the finals? There were so many youngsters.
You pick your best team.
Yeah.
If they're part of your best team, they play. And for me today, they played well enough to own their spots. And the challenge for the other boys is to continue to play well. That's why we've been able to keep playing, and that's why we've rewarded them, because they've played well. Even Riley today, Jasper was playing until Thursday, hurt his calf. Riley comes in and plays really well. So they give you what they got. So do the other boys, but sometimes a bit of enthusiasm from young fellas who don't quite know what's coming is not a bad thing either.
How are you carrying the top four finish now? You're right in the mix.
It doesn't. Look, it'll be what it'll be. I've said all year we just got to control next week, make sure we turn up and play really strong footy. More importantly for us, we want to go in winning form. We want to go in playing strong footy, hot footy, knowing that the week after that it's going to be a step up again from today. And I thought today was great practice. We need to make sure we've got great practice again next week, and we have an attitude that's the same, because you've got to get ready. And we haven't dealt with the bye in the past. We haven't been a part of the finals for a couple of years, so we don't quite understand the bye yet. So that'll be a little challenge for us, but I think we'll get it pretty right if we play like that today. Thank you.
Thanks, mate.